What's up everybody, and welcome back for another day to do some indoor SUP training. And today we're focusing on our hips and using our hips to drive our upper body back up again after every single stroke that we do. Unfortunately, a big mistake that a lot of paddleboarders make that they don't realize they're making is that they're utilizing their smaller lower back muscles to pull themselves back up again after every single stroke they do on the water. In order to help fix and change that, because if you do that too much, you actually cause more stress and more pain eventually in the long run to your lower back muscles. So to help alleviate that and avoid that problem, we want to focus on is actually using our hip muscles, and more importantly using our hip flexors and our glutes to pull ourselves to the paddle shaft after every single stroke that we do. By doing that, we use those larger hip muscles to pull ourselves forward. That forces our upper body to come back up again as we pull our hips forward. A good analogy for this is if you ever do kettlebell swings, it's kind of the same motion. When you have a kettlebell in your hand, below your legs here, and you want to drive the kettlebell forward and up, the way you do that is actually thrusting your hips forward to get that kettlebell up for every single swing that you do. What you're not doing is using your lower back muscles to pull yourself up again with that kettlebell, but rather using those stronger hip muscles to thrust forward, swinging that kettlebell up for every single swing that you do. And the same when it comes to stand-up paddleboarding, when we do our strokes, we're hinging forward and down, applying pressure on our paddle shaft, pulling ourselves to that paddle shaft. Then we're done with our hinging forward motion, we're ready to drive up again to reset. We use those hips to thrust forward to our paddle shaft, causing our body to come back up again, allowing us to be up and ready again to reset for another paddle stroke in the water. So with that being said, as you can see, this is a very important motion to learn how to do, which is why today we're going to focus on doing just that. Today's workout is going to be divided into two parts. The first part, all we're going to do is put our paddle shaft in our hand, get in our SUP stance, and all we're going to do is just get used to thrusting our hips forward with every single stroke that we're doing with the indoor SUP session today. We'll do that for 10 minutes, and then for the second part today, we'll start doing a full paddle stroke. And same thing, focusing on using our hips to thrust ourselves back up again after every stroke that we do for today's session. As well, for the equipment today, all you're going to need is your indoor SUP shaft. And the only band that we're going to use for today's session is a red 30-pound band anchored at the high anchor point. Now, for me, as I've said before, for this filming location I'm doing here in my office, I have anchors built into my wall for a high and low anchor point. But if you have indoor SUP equipment, all you have to do is use the stuff that came with your indoor SUP equipment. Use that band to throw over the top of your door frame, and that's an easy access point for you to clip your top band to for today's paddle session. So with that being said, let's get things set up and today's session started. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. So as always in these indoor SUP workouts, we're going to take these first few minutes to get our bodies warmed up and loosened up for the full workout ahead. So right now you might feel a little bit tight, but that's okay. The more reps you put in today's workout, the more your body's going to loosen up and open up and feel more comfortable doing these movements. So as you're getting your body warmed up, let's simply focus on bringing your hips up to your paddle shaft. We're not doing a full paddle stroke right now, but rather simply getting into a paddle stroke stance and then bringing our hips directly up to our paddle shaft, pulling ourselves or pulling our hips to our paddle shaft with every single movement that we're doing here. As you're doing this, really focus on using your hip flexion muscles to pull your hips forward, along with flexing your glutes to push forward as well, to bring your hips forward to your paddle shaft, driving your upper body up as well. By focusing on these muscle groups and doing this range of motion over and over again, you're creating good muscle memory to incorporate this into your full paddle stroke. So we're going to focus on this hip drive motion for the next 10 minutes, simply focusing, as I said, on using your hip flexors and your glute muscles to push and pull your hips forward to your paddle shaft. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking in today's workout, but rather giving you the space and the time to really dial in and be really focused today on your hip drive motion. So I'll check back in with you here at the halfway point of the first part of today's workout. All right, you're now 5 minutes in and 5 minutes left to go in the first half of today's workout. How's it going? Are you feeling good movement now with your hip drive as you drive your hips forward to your paddle shaft with each repetition that you're doing right now? Well, I hope so, because you should be dialed in and really focused right now and really feeling the movement of your body and engaging your muscle groups to do this movement over and over again. So keep it up, keep focused, keep dialed, and I'll be back with you here at the end of the first part of today's workout. All right, just 1 minute left to go. Let's finish strong and stay focused. Let's end this now in 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Let's now switch over to doing a full paddle stroke motion now. All right, let's get the second half of today's workout started now. In 3, 2, 1, let's begin. So now that we're doing a full paddle stroke in the second half of today's workout, we're still staying focused on our hip driving motion. So yes, even though now we're doing all the phases of our paddle stroke, we're still staying focused on using our hip flexor muscles to pull our hips forward, as well as engaging our glute muscles to help push our hips forward to our paddle shaft with each paddle stroke that we're doing, using those larger muscles to push our upper body back up again at the end of each one of our strokes. Alright, you're now at the halfway point and only have 5 minutes left remaining in today's workout. Continue to stay focused and listen to your body right now. What's feeling good, what's feeling strong, what's not feeling good, what's feeling tight or not engaged. Focus on those areas of your body and listen to it right now as you try to focus on engaging those hip muscles to drive your upper body back up again. If you still feel like things are a little bit off, continue to make small adjustments to which muscles you're engaging as well as your paddle stance to find that perfect range of motion for your paddle stroke. So keep up the good work and I'll see you at the end of today's workout. Alright, you're down to your last minute now. Let's stay focused and stay strong. Let's end today's workout now in 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Great job today, and I hope you enjoyed today's training session as you work on improving your hip drive. As I said at the beginning of today's workout training session, this will not only help save your lower back, but also make you a more efficient paddler. So let me know how it went for you in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.